Welcome to It Takes Two. I'm Blair.
I'm Chris.
And today we'll be talking about Couples Therapy, Season 4, Episode 2.
Sorry for the delay. I thought the show came on every Friday, right? But apparently we are, I think, an episode behind, or we are caught up. Subscribe, like, share, comment. I promise we won't do it again. Okay? Mm-hmm. Anything you want to share before we get into it?
No.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Let's get into it.
So we start with Aryn, Josh, and Lorena.
Uh-oh.
Aryn is going to be in New York more with her new job opportunity. Mm-hmm. She never talked to really Josh about it and how it would impact him. Mm-hmm. Aryn was hurt because she wasn't immediately welcomed into their home. He's been saying that he wants more time with her, but it's feeling contradictory at this point.
Okay.
And Orna is telling them that they're both focusing on their own hurts. What's his name? Josh ends up wanting to talk about, well, who started it and all this type of stuff. And Orna's like, honestly, it doesn't matter. Like, people see things differently. Where you think it started, it could have started 30 minutes before that. Like, that's not what we need to focus on.
Yeah.
Well, Josh says that he's more clear about his emotions. And then he starts talking about women in the United States and how they process things with their emotions. And Orna is just like, we're getting a little too philosophical. Okay, let's try to stick it to the point of you and your relationships currently.
Yeah.
Well, Lorena says that her time with Josh is based off of Aryn being busy. And he would drop plans with Lorena whenever Aryn will come into town. They even bring up a situation to where they had a coffee date planned.
Yeah.
And he called her 10 minutes before and said, oh, Aryn, I'm going to do something with Aryn while she's in town. I'll catch up with you later.
Yeah.
If Aryn moves in, Lorena is really going to be secondary, and she just wants to know that so she can orient herself properly.
Yeah.
Well, Josh is saying he understands. Aryn says that Josh has considered changing their name from primary partners to anchor partners, just to kind of remove the hierarchy of the relationships. Orna's, she says that when she's talking to her therapist friend, that Josh lives with a bunch of people. Lorena lives somewhere else, and Aryn stays with Josh when she's in town. So they all have their own lovers outside of the relationship. Orna is trying to wrap her head around this couple and what they need.
Yeah, she's trying to also figure out who's the couple here, right? One thing that Josh was saying, he really felt like it does matter how it started or who's right and something like that. He tried to compare it to, I think that matters. And Orna told him, yeah, that matters in court.
Yeah.
But this isn't court. What is your thoughts so far? Because I have so many, but I don't know where to peel this onion from. I'm kind of like with Orna here.
Okay.
I don't know where to start with these three.
Well, I guess where I start off is, do poly relationships even work for real? Because it seems like, at least the poly relationships I've been exposed to on different shows I've watched, Sister Wives or Seeking Sister Wife and all these types of things, there's always a power struggle and a dynamic that somebody is feeling left out of or feeling less than. Okay. And I can see that Orna is trying to find her way, but I feel like in this dynamic, there's always going to be some type of power struggle and hierarchy. I mean, him even mentioning of changing the name to anchor partner instead of primary partner to kind of remove some of that. But that doesn't change the fact that when Aryn comes in town, I get dropped like a hot potato talking about Lorena. So even though they are exploring these relationships and having multiple relationships, and even the relationship that they're in now, they have partners outside of this one. It seems like this is their primary focus as far as a commitment to a relationship, and I just honestly don't think it's going to work. I just don't see a way for everybody to feel the same and love the same and have the same time.
Look, I even got my therapist hands going. I would even start, even before you even get to do poly work, I would ask, is this even a poly relationship? That's the kind of question I would ask. Because I don't know what it is, but it just feels like, if I was just to look on the surface, it looks like you was with Aryn, Josh, right? And when she's not in town, you just have a side chick. That's basically what it feels like. Two separate relationships. It doesn't feel like one relationship. So I would even ask, are y'all even in a poly relationship? Even as Blair shared with us on the show, that her name is Lorena.
Yeah.
Lorena and Aryn are not romantic with each other, right?
Yeah.
So that leads me to believe, and I'm not saying that's abnormal, I'm saying, but it leads me to believe that, how do Aryn feel when Josh has something planned with Lorena that like she's not part of? Because now I'm starting to look at other side things. What make Josh feel so comfortable to just be like, oh, Lorena, I ain't gonna make it 5-10 minutes before he's due to be there.
Yeah.
So I wonder, do Aryn feel any type of, I don't want to say jealousy, but entitlement to Josh? Because, like, you know, we are the couple and we kind of just added you secondary, which kind of leaves Lorena in the, like, basically like twirling in the wind. Like, she just like, I don't know what we are, I don't know what y'all are. She even said, as she was explaining her part, that like she gets no consideration, like none. And this is where it gets tricky.
Yeah.
And I wonder, to Blair's point, basically when we see this show before, we on season 4 as we all are, is there ever a poly relationship that came on the show that worked?
Right.
And I'm just like, I don't think it has, because I don't think everybody's being honest. I think Josh, even the way he even introduced, or the way that Aryn even introduced this whole, like, you know, poly relationship is not honest. You get what I'm saying? I'm going back on episode 1 where Josh was like, he was devastated when Aryn introduced that. So I'm like, and then he said he had to hardwire himself and rewire his thinking. And I'm like, so technically you're not really true to this. You're new to this yourself.
Yeah. And
you're thinking that you owe Aryn at least some type of due diligence. And basically, Lorena is just the sidekick. To where if you're in a poly relationship, they're equal. Everybody equal. But it's kind of hard for things to be equal, because it's like 33, 33, 33. There's going to be even a point percentage to where someone's not going to get more than the other.
And I also think that the fact that, not that it works in sister wives relationships, but I think the fact that there is a focus on a bond between the women might at least make things last longer, even if they end up falling apart in the end.
Yeah.
Like, there is no bond between Lorena and Aryn.
I don't think they talk.
Yeah, and wanting to make their dynamic work. It's just kind of like, I want him and I want my time with him. And there's not really a fight about it, but it's just kind of like, I mean, like you said, Lorena is an afterthought, and she's just like, if I'm being considered an afterthought, somebody tell me so I know what to expect, you know? But if Aryn and Lorena had a relationship and some type of sister-wife friendly bond, then they could probably work out their emotions with each other as well and be able to communicate to Josh what they both need. But it's like everybody is in their own separate world.
Yeah, and I'm starting to feel like, now I'm starting to feel like Lorena's feelings is starting to get hurt. Because when she was basically like, you don't consider me at all, not some, at all. So now I think it happened like this. I think Aryn hurt Josh. Josh has hurt Lorena. Like, I think hurt people. Because when Aryn basically like, I'm a free spirit, I do what I want, he's trying to keep up with her whole, you know, living style and whole dating style. But I think he can only focus on one person, because even when Aryn's not here, and I can understand how Lorena may feel, because when Aryn's not here, he's like focused on her. They are basically like a couple, you know? So it's like, okay, all of y'all have multiple partners in some fashion. I don't know who's the main couple, so I don't even know who to fix. You get what I'm saying? Because when Aryn's not here, this is the main couple. Now, Aryn planning on moving back and working here. It's like, now what's going to happen? Are y'all even going? Will this even be needed for y'all three if Aryn gonna be here full time?
Yeah.
So I guess we gonna see more in the upcoming episodes.
We'll see. So, moving on to Elíana and Mitch. Mitch still isn't being helpful with what she needs to get done around the house.
Yeah.
And he says that he does fall short in anticipating her needs. And that's when Orna pipes up, because they're talking about him taking out the garbage and him not anticipating that, hey, like, these are things that the house needs to be done in order for things to run smoothly and to take some of the pressure off of Elíana. And Orna makes a comment, so the garbage is her needs. And he says, yeah, because he doesn't feel like he's part of the home.
Yeah.
Elíana says that she does stuff all the time by herself, and it's like he can't just figure stuff out.
Because she figured things out.
Yeah. Mitch says that he's asking her to do stuff because he doesn't know. Well, basically, she's telling him that you're not doing things correctly. She has the sentiment of, as an adult, you should be able to be the adult in the room and to handle things appropriately. And he's just like, there are things that I just don't know about our child because I'm not around them all the time. I don't know if they can brush their teeth by themselves. I don't know what he can do and all this type of stuff. And that's why he's constantly asking her questions or needing some type of guidance from her.
Yeah.
Elíana, notices, or basically they call her out, that her highlighting that she does better than him in certain ways of taking care of their child is not helping get the goal done, which is basically him coming in as a partner and participating 100% and being basically sharing the load for her.
Okay.
So Orna says, well, let's talk end result. By you using language that you're doing it better is not going to get you of the end result of trying to get things done. And she offers her the suggestion of trying to have a different internal message. You're frustrated. You want help. I get that. But you've developed this language in your mind that you can do it better, and he's not functioning as an adult. So we really need to reframe the whole thing.
Yeah.
So Orna asks Mitch, what is it that he wants? And he wants to raise his son to be a good person.
Yeah.
And he does his best. When he gets older, he feels that he'll need more guidance from the father when it comes to like middle school, high school range. He thinks that if the mom is doing most of the work now while he's a small child, like that's fine, because that's kind of what mothers do as far as like taking care of the baby.
Yeah.
And Elíana is saying, well, your son needs you every day. And those things will only be possible for you to have an influence in his life when he gets to that age if you're around every day, basically. And I agree with that, too. Like, he's not going to listen to you if you ain't been a voice throughout his life. So apparently Mitch's parents separated when he was young. When he was in middle and high school, his dad wasn't around. And that's when he had to figure out things a lot for himself as far as like becoming a man and handling different things in life. And by the end of the conversation, Elíana offers him to stay at the house for a couple of days, and they kind of end things on good terms for their session. Yeah.
Just to add a little bit more color to the scene, he said that it's kind of hard for him to see his impact as a father at the age that the kid is currently. And then they tied it to basically when he was fatherless. It was around the time where he feels like, oh, I needed a father at this age. This is when I'm going to be a father to my kid. What is that woman's name again? The one that's with Mitch?
Elíana.
Elíana?
Yeah.
I feel like I owe her an apology. Because I think you taking care of two kids, in my opinion, right? And I understand there was a moment to where Orna and Mitch was like, do you hear yourself? Like, you are saying it. And she was like, I'm not saying that. And yes, you are saying it, but I understand 100% where you're coming from.
Saying what?
Like, basically saying, like, you're, like, even though she criticizing him in a way of making him feel like he's not worthy, but basically criticizing him, like, she's like, okay, I understand the way I criticize him. I'm not only comparing him to me, but I'm also making him feel like a child. And that is not progressive to the solution that I'm trying to get to.
Good, right.
I understand, like, okay, I'm saying that without saying that.
Yeah.
Y'all got me there, Mitch and Orna, right? But I'm dealing with a child.
Yeah.
Right? Like, and I feel like don't fall for his calm tone and even how he's able to express himself. He's a child. Like it's kind of hard to like wrap my head around someone who is put it so plainly that he wants to be a part-time dad. Like it's just like, and I understand like even him saying that, you know, when I take out the trash, I do it for her. And Aryn was like, why do you see like chores for her? Like why don't you see it for like your benefit? Because he probably don't care about taking out the trash. He probably don't care about cleaning. He probably don't care about being tidy. So these simple adult things that like, you know, people do in their everyday life, he don't see it as a benefit to him. So of course he gonna attach it to her, and especially if she's yelling at him. You know what I mean?
And he lives with his mom. And that's another thing we got to consider is the fact that with him living with his mom, what is that dynamic like? Like, is he kind of babied when he's at home?
Probably.
Like, does he have any type of things that he has to contribute to the household? And then all of a sudden he's with the house with his girlfriend and his child, and now he has to be the man. So it's just kind of like maybe it's two different worlds that he's being put into.
And I think, if I'm not mistaken, he chose to leave the house. Because he said, I wanted to save this relationship, so I left.
Yeah, because she was talking crazy.
But you was doing crazy.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? And I understand this is not an episode or this is not a series to where we do finger pointing and things like that. That's why I couldn't be a therapist. I only play one on review channels.
Because you'd be like, you're wrong.
Because I'd be cause,
she is better than you.
Because it sounded crazy to say I left to save the relationship.
Yeah.
Like, and now you're a guest in basically your home. So how those conscious battles, right, of that Elena's going through of, okay, I have to be nicer. Okay, I have to give him a chance. Okay, I have to, you know what I mean? But there's those unconscious battles of you left me and I had to figure it out.
Yeah.
Like how do you expect me to get over that? That, hey, how come you can't figure it out, but I figured it out, you left me, right?
Yeah.
And I do everything.
Yeah.
And when you're here, you having a hard time of just taking out the trash. I'm not even asking you to do algebra. I'm not even asking you to do geometry. I'm asking you to do something simple as watch your kid. Why do I need to, like, basically tell you that, oh, he knows how to do this, he knows how to do that, or, like, they know how to do this? I didn't know they knew how to do that until I saw it.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? That's part of being a parent. I don't know. I know as much as you.
Yeah.
And I'm learning on the spot. Why can't you pick up that skill? I don't know. I think I'm starting to see the light on Mitch a little bit. You get what I'm saying? I thought she was just a nasty person, but I'm starting to get, like, when someone feels like they are alone, and then let me restart. If I'm alone, don't give me the illusion that I have a partner in the trenches with me. I'd rather be alone completely.
Yeah.
Like let me, like, I'm alone. But if you're coming to me as help, but really you're not, then I'm frustrated because, number one, you lied to me. And number two, you're actually, like, things not running smoothly now. You know?
You're kind of a hindrance.
So,
yeah.
What are your thoughts, if you have anything to add?
Yeah, my thoughts pretty much, I'm just like, Elíana, and I don't want to put the blame on either one of them because they both laid down to have a baby.
Oh, yeah, I definitely put the blame on both of them. But
I'm saying, like, that decision to me was not well thought out.
No.
But now that we're here, we have to move on from that. But I'm like, Elíana, do you know your partner? Have you seen him this whole time and seen what he's done and seen how he's acted? If he's not acting any different than he already has,
pretty much,
then I think that you kind of have to taper your expectations of this man. If you're choosing to be in a relationship with him, you chose to have a baby with him, then there's certain things that he just might not catch on to quickly, and you might have to sit and explain everything to him.
Oh my gosh.
Now, yes, that sounds exhausting and the worst, but you chose him, you know? And if you don't want that for yourself anymore, I mean, you still got to deal with him because of your child, but this is a personal choice. And I don't necessarily think that her berating him and all that type of stuff is going to improve the situation at all. Just like Orna said, it's not going to make a difference to the outcome you're looking for.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, you have to be able to talk to him respectfully. And I know it's frustrating. I know it's annoying. But these are the decisions you've made and the person you've decided to commit a life to.
Listen,
you know?
I understand, yep.
And so my thing is, like, with Mitch, if he's... Okay, how do I put it like this? I doubt that Mitch has changed from when they first got together to how he is now.
Really?
I highly doubt it. So that's why I'm not too much on him of like, come on, Mitch, get it together. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think he is who he is. And that's why he's in the position that he is as far as like living with his parent and, you know, might not be able to live on his own, might not be able to kind of care for himself as an adult. I mean, I'm not saying it's an excuse or it's okay, but I'm just like, this is who you wanted.
Yeah, I get it.
But my thing, hold on.
It sounds like babying though.
But I don't think it's babying. I think that you got yourself in this position with this person, and this is who you have to deal with. He hasn't changed. Now, also, I feel like, Mitch, you could stand to catch up and try to learn and ask questions and all these types of stuff, maybe when it's outside of the moment.
Yeah.
Because if you're in the moment, she's like, I need to take a nap. You're like, well, tell me this, tell me this, tell me that. It's just like, how about you kind of just like touch base with her weekly before you go over and visit, and just kind of think about some things that you want to do to help, you know? And I know he said he's bad at anticipating needs. We all can make lists. So make a list of things you want to do with your kid. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think he might need to slow things down in order for him to gather the information he needs under a less high pressure situation. Because yes, if you ask me when I'm about to go to sleep how I do X, Y, and Z, I'm just like, you're really irritating. But if you talk to me on a Wednesday before you come here and just be like, hey, these are some things I want to do. And I wanted to run things by you and just kind of see what he can't do and all this type of stuff. Then maybe we can actually have a conversation about it than just be like, you're irritating me. So yeah, it's a double-edged sword, but
I'm not buying it.
But I feel like they have to work with each other. I mean, this is what they chose.
I'm not buying it. The reason
you think he's like doing weaponized incompetence? You think he's trying not to get it?
I'm not even saying that. I'm going on the sense of like he may be the same, right? From the time they met, but she's not the same, and just off the strength of she's a parent now, right? However they were before the baby, everybody changed during the baby. So something as simple as, okay, you don't know how to take care of the kid. I understand that. You chose to leave the house. That's on you. Take the trash out. That is not a like I need to tell you before you get here type of thing. Like you are a grown man child.
But if he's not living his life like that, how is he going to start living his life like that when he comes to the house?
I understand.
I'm just like, I just would break up with him because I'm like, I got to focus on my child. I can't focus on you.
And that's
you know what I mean? I would just break up with him. But if she's choosing to be with him and raise a child with him, this is who you got.
I just want to know what he's good at. Like that. Maybe that's what I need. I need to know what he's good at. Because now I understand. The reason why I probably can see what she's coming from in the sense of like, yo, how is this not common sense from you? You know, she's from, New York. I'm from Jersey City, So it's this thing of like, yo, we rely on figuring things out. And how is this not like common sense? Yeah. So it doesn't come out as, well, this is what I need. And then it's like, yo, like what do you mean you don't know how to take out the trash? But then you expect whenever you come over for us to have sex though. It's like, yo, you wildin'. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. But you know what? I'm a therapist. And
on YouTube.
And my job is not to point fingers at Mitch.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And tell him to grow up. You know what I mean? And it's like you tell him to grow up in so many bad ways, Elíana, that he's like, the way you're telling me to grow up, that is not conducive to the result. It makes me feel bad. And it's like,
I don't think there's anything she could say to get him to get it. I really don't.
And that's when Aryn was like, dude, you hear yourself? And I'm like, everybody's against me now. Like I would be like, you know what? I think I'm done here, But let's move on because I'm sure they are going to have a lot of scenes with them too. Yeah.
So we're moving on to Casimir and Alexis.
Yeah.
So Casimir fills us in on how he has like a two-spirit situation going on where Tallulah is his female energy.
Interesting.
And apparently Orna feels Tallulah when she's talking to him. Like she feels that there's another presence behind him. And she said that did click for her when he said that. But then there was a shift between Casey and Casimir. So basically when Casimir was in school, kids were calling him Casey. And he said that he went to his teacher and just said, just call me Casimir because people are picking on me.
Oh, okay. I didn't pick it up when I was watching. So his name is not Casimir?
It is Casimir.
Okay.
But they were calling him Casey for short.
Oh,
and then the kids were calling him Casey.
Okay. I got it now.
Yeah. And so he said, Casimir is the defender. This is the person who like protects me. And he shares that he was homeless by the age of 12. And at this point, feels like he's using Casimir in all the wrong places.
Yeah.
Being defensive in order to protect himself.
That can explain why the arguments is so vicious.
Yeah. Well, Alexis was raised by his mom, and he in turn raised his sister because his mom wasn't always present.
Yeah.
At 9, his mom's uncle's husband SA'd him, and that's when the dissociation started.
Yeah.
So he also started self-harming around that time.
Yes, almost immediately. That's crazy.
Yeah. His aunt, which is his mom's sister, began to notice that he was acting differently. He wasn't such a bubbly personality. And she confronted his mom to say, like, hey, I think something's going on with Alexis. And the mom cut her sister off because she didn't want to hear anything about it. And she told him that he couldn't speak to his aunt anymore. Well, the uncle kept coming over. They no longer went to their house, but the uncle kept coming over, and he was essayed at his home, literally steps away from his mother and his sister's room. He left home around 16 and completely severed the relationship with his mother. And he has seen his mom along the years at just different family functions. And whenever the mom is there, and like Casimir met the mom was just like, he makes everything up. All of this is made up. None of this is true. And Orna ends up talking to some of her colleagues, and she's just saying that she is really, really, really caring for and feeling for Casimir and Alexis, almost to the point where she's worried she's putting herself into these kind of savior fantasies because she's seeing the children in them, and she wants to protect and save the children within them. And although, you know, her job is there to help them, she also is not their savior. So she's kind of trying to work out her inner issues when trying to help them.
Yeah.
So,
Arna, I'm just like you with my therapist hands. I don't know. Because it seems so now, since y'all are in a therapy session, it will feel so, what's the word? The only word I could think of is a slang word. I haven't used this slang word in a while. Cruddy, right?
Okay.
It would seem so cruddy for her to suggest another therapist, right? Because they opened themselves up to her, and it would kind of like go with her feeling of like she feel the need to save them. That's why she kind of want to withdraw, but in a way she knows she needs to help them. Because me, honestly, I would probably be like, Arna, I'll probably be like, yeah, I need to give y'all to the therapist because y'all got me fighting unconscious things in my head.
Yeah.
But it's like, but they trusted me with this information. They trusted me. It's not like this is a session to where like it's getting nowhere. Like, they came to me for help, and I'm like, yeah, I can't help you. So I do kind of feel the pull to want to help them, especially Alexis, right? Alexis is very, I don't think he deal with it. I think he's a big suppressor, and he had no choice to be. I think he's not a suppressor by choice. I think it was forced upon him. Because what if you tell somebody what happened to you, and then people do come to your defense, and then the people that's supposed to defend you be like, yeah, that ain't happened. That, like, really, it didn't happen. Then you cut off from your family members, and then even today, not even people, even years later when people usually have a come to Jesus moment where they be like, I'm sorry, and things like that, you're still calling me a liar. You know, I was essayed over there, and then I'm essayed in my safety spot and things like that. I'm taking care of my sister. It's just like no one was really there for him, which I understand why she feels like a savior complex and things like that. So it's like, I don't know really how to deal with them from my perspective, because it's so much to peel from. What did you pick up from them?
Overall, I really just feel like they both need individual therapy to start. I think that there's some things individually they have to work through. And like Alexis said last episode, that he has a lot of anger in him. And Casimir is saying that he doesn't like all the anger. And Alexis was the one who said, sometimes I need it, though. So to me, it sounds like you've got some internal work, history, stuff like that to work on before we can even address the relationship. Like, it doesn't seem like you're in a healthy spot mentally. I don't know if Casimir is either. I feel like we've gotten a little bit deeper with Alexis than Casimir. But for me, I'm just like, I think they have some individual issues to work out. Doesn't mean they can't be in a relationship, but all I can think of is it would be like putting a Band-Aid over like a wound, trying to counsel them as a couple. I feel like the most we could do is basically just try to help them to learn how to be respectful of each other while they're going through and trying to deal with their personal issues. It's just like, just try to be nice, because y'all are dealing with some tough stuff. But it sounds like I keep saying, just individual therapy I think would be best.
Yeah, I don't even, and that's probably what it is. Maybe the things that's going on individually in their lives is causing things to happen collectively when they are together.
Yeah.
To where really they're not even fighting each other.
It's like each other's ghosts.
Yeah. So it's like I kind of get it. But I don't think Orna should drop him though.
Right.
I don't know if that would be a good thing to do. I think the fact that she recognized it, I think she's going to change and change her approach. Because it's one thing to do something and you know acknowledge that you're doing it, but I think the fact that she caught it before she's doing it, I think she's going to like really like kind of. I'm interested to see the angle that she's going to come at it now.
Okay.
Now that she pinpoint like what she feels, even seeing children, it's kind of weird for Alexis' mom to see children and not want to defend, and Orna, a grown woman who basically have no relation to Alexis at all, she's like, I see the child in him and I want to like defend him. So it's like, it's going to be very interesting. They are now my new interesting couple on the show.
Yeah. And that's it.
Overall, what do you think about the episode?
Episode was good. I'm enjoying every episode. It's kind of like peeling back an onion. Like we're getting deeper into the layers of the individuals, and it's kind of opening up our eyes to see why they're having certain conflicts in their relationship. So it's good.
Yeah, I'm liking it too. Mitch, you gotta grow up, buddy, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Man. I'm sorry. You have to grow up. That's all I gotta say. Anything else?
That's it.
Y'all be good.
Bye.